So today we're talking about digital literacy footprints, how to get it all set up, and then see what else you guys kind of want to focus on. So first of all, there have been a lot of questions about how to log in because they originally said it would be through Clever, and it is not. So I'm also going to share this slide deck with you, so you'll have this link. But this is the link, and this is what you should see and what students should see. So it's the same for teachers and students. So when you go to the link, you should see the Google login. You click on that, and it is your fcpsschools.net account, both for teachers and students. So that is how you log in. And it's useful for several things. So one thing is the students have bookshelves where you can give them independent books, so they can use that for their independent reading, sort of like how they'd use your classroom library. Obviously, you can use it for guided reading. That's what it's made for. It's a guided reading series. You could also use the books for shared reading. In fact, in some of the lower grades, they've put some of them in the addenda. You can use it for intervention groups, and there's actually a separate set of intervention books. So if I have not given your classroom access to that and you think it would be helpful, let me know. And also you could use it as like a text for a word study lesson, to have the students read some continuous text and search for words, with blends or long vowels or whatever you're working on. Before I continue, I'm going to take this out of present mode so I can put the link for it in the chat so that you guys will have it. Okay. So what I'd like to do now is I'm actually going to go to the Literacy Footprints site, and I want to show you how to just do some basic setup. And then after that, I'm going to kind of see where you guys are at and what you want the next portion to be. So here is what you would see when you log in to your classroom. So you have all of these icons, which is what you will use on your dashboard. They are also up here. So when you're in something, you can look up there to see them to get back to wherever you need to go. So if you're going to assign your students to groups, say you're planning on using it for guided reading and you want to be able to assign a book to a whole group instead of one student at a time, I suggest that you make the groups first, because then when you go in to set your students' level, you can also add them to a group. So it'll save you some time. So I'm going to show that first. So you click on groups and add new group. And I'm sorry, I just need to pull this up. Okay, so you have to give it a name. So I'm going to name this group 3 and click create. And that is all I'm going to do for that group right now. I just wanted to have it created so when I go to students, I can put them in it. So here's the students icon. So I'm going to click on that. And if you know a specific student you want, you can search like by their name, even their last name. So here's a student I want to put in that group. So the pencil is where you edit. So I'm going to click on the pencil, and this student is a level W instructionally. So I'm going to set the reading level. I want the student to be in that group 3 that I just created. So I'm putting the student in group 3. Because I put W as the instructional level, they chose the next 2 below that for the student's bookshelf for their independent reading. I've been adding another like 1 or 2 levels so that they have more options of books to read. So I clicked a couple more. After you do that, you will want to save. So that saves all of those changes you made. So now that student has a group, has a reading level. I just want to show you. So we use the pencil icon for that. The key is it's like a letter you could give to parents or to students for them to know how to log in. So that's something you could copy and paste in an email, or you can print it. So that's one option that's there. And then when you click on the mask, you get to see it the way the student sees it. So this is what this student would see. And if we go to the bookshelf, those books I picked, level STUV, are here for the student, but the student does not see the levels. So like I said, this is kind of like shopping in the classroom library for some books to read. So the student can pick what book they want to read. This is what it looks like for them. When they're done, they can favorite it to find it easily later. They can check off that it's done. And I also want to show you when you're done seeing mask view, that you click on the mask to go out of it. So now we're back to the teacher view. So that was kind of the overview of how to set up a group and assign the student level. So any questions so far? See some hands. Dana?
Can you quickly show again how you got the parent email that we could send out?
Sure. So I'm going to go to students, and by the student's name, there's a pencil, a mask, and a key. You click the key. That's how you get to that. Did you have a question, Wilson?
I did. If a student doesn't click that they finished reading or that they like the book, will Literacy Footprint reflect that they finished reading it, or do they have to physically say, "Hey, I'm done this," by checking that, by doing that check mark?
You know what? I'm sorry, but I don't know the answer to that.
No, that's.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's been kind of hard to play around with it since I don't have my own class. So that's why Erin is letting me borrow her class today. I can't see everyone, so I don't know if anybody else raised their hand. No? Okay. So I have to get back to my presentation. Okay. So we talked about that. Okay, so I have this guide available that also tells you how to do an assessment and sign books, use the books for guided reading. And if you click on it, because I gave you the slide deck, you can get the link for that. So what I would like to know next is what do you want to work on? So do you want to just have some time to set up your groups and student levels and see if any questions come up while you're doing it? Do you want to know how you can use this to plan a guided reading lesson? Do you want to know how you can use this to assess your students? Or is there something else? So if you're in the slide deck, you can click on the picture to get to it, or I can also put the Jamboard in the chat, and you can use.
Can you make it so that we can edit it?
Oh,
so you're in those sharing settings.
I see. Okay.
Thanks.
Yes, done. Okay, and I'll also put the link in the chat for the Jamboard. So go ahead and go to that and let me know kind of where you're at.
Amelia,
Yes.
this is Lauren again. For some reason, the link is not loading on my computer.
No problem.
It keeps twirling around
Yeah.
and around and around. So now I'm on my phone, but I have no idea how. I don't think I can
That's fine. You want to just tell us where you'd put your sticky?
I can't even see the presentation. Oh, let's see.
Okay.
What does it say?
Do you want some time to set up your groups and your students' levels, like what I just showed you? Do you want to know how to plan a guided reading lesson with Literacy Footprints? Do you want to know how you can use it to assess your students? Or do you want something else?
Um, um, I probably need the first two.
Okay. I'll make a sticky for you.
Thanks. I don't know why it's not working.
Mhm.
Just out of curiosity, did that happen to anybody else?
No, but I can tell you when I meet with my groups, I often have one student who it takes them a while to get into Jamboard. So I'm not
Oh,
surprised.
well, I'm not
You're-
even in, I can't even get in the link to the meet. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
all right.
Okay, so I see, Steph, you'd like some time just to work on setting that up. So that sounds good. And we've got a few people who want to know about planning a guided reading lesson and several people who want to know about assessment. So I've actually made videos about planning a guided reading lesson and using it to assess your students. And I have to tell you, I've never used the breakout rooms, and actually I think I don't have the host controls, right? Right now. Jennifer, are you still here?
That's right. I'm still here. You don't have the host controls.
So we didn't figure that out ahead of time. Do you want to make some breakout groups, or should we move to BBCU?
I can make the breakout groups.
Okay. All right. So in the slide deck, she'll make a group for guided reading and group for assess my students. And I'll tell you what slide to go to. So,
Oops. Can I get that Jamboard picture back?
oh, I'm sorry. Yes. So it should be, I'm pretty sure, slide 10. I guess I can look at it without changing what you're seeing. Slide 10 has a video about how to get to the lesson plans and stuff for guided reading. And slide 11 tells you the different ways you can get to the assessment information. So if that was one of the things you're interested in, if you want to go on the slide deck and watch those videos, and then I can pop into your breakout rooms and see if you have any questions once you've seen the video and maybe tried it out.
I'm almost done.
And that link, I just shared the slide deck again in case you weren't in it so that you can get to the videos.
So Dana, Janet, and Wilson should be on, I think, slide 10 and in one breakout room. Is that right? And then Carolina, Aaron, Mona, Colleen, and Barb should be on slide 11 and in a separate breakout room.
Oh, the purpose of this video is to show you how to use
And then,
Where are you going to go?
why don't you put me in the plan a guided reading lesson one first?
Okay. Sorry, guys.
And Steph and Joy and Lauren, as you're working on setting up your groups and levels, just let us know if you have any questions.
Okay. Lauren is, sorry.
Yeah.
Susan, where's Susan Callahan wanting to go?
Oh, she's leaving.
Okay. Okay. I think we're good. Andrea, you're going to be with Assess My Students, and I'll stay in the main so I can move people around.
Okay, sounds good.
There we go. I just did something very scary. Do I get a gold star?
I did my first one like an hour ago, and I was like, okay,
Well, I'm
please, let's
freaking out
everybody
about
come
it.
back. I'm like, okay, so when I click that, they're all gonna come back, right? Like, I'm not gonna lose children.
Steph, you know I'm going to talk to you after school today because I'm freaking out about that.
No, I promise you, it's so. I did it myself with just me and myself because I was and that's no fun, right? So I didn't know how it would work with 26 students, but it actually, and I had a CLT, so I put her with Adam, and they went. It was great. It ended up being great. So
Steph, you know me, I'm not afraid of technology, but I am afraid of losing control. That's my fear.
well, I felt like when I put them out there, I never knew. I remember Mona had a story where she tried it in another Meet Link, but it was named like she named it, and you're not supposed to name them because then anybody anywhere. So she had people from like middle and high school, and like it's like a fear of mine. I'm learning through other people's experiences, but no, this will be great. This will be great. And Jen, thanks for those math resources. I just added them to Joy, our small group room, so that we don't lose them. Because people send these awesome things and I can't keep track of it all. So I'm organizing it in my own Google Classroom so that I have access.
That's good.
Okay, so this is,
Do you need help with this at all?
And is this her phone or is this her? She's having technical troubles, right?
I think it's her phone.
Can you hear us, Lauren? Can you hear?
Oh.
She left the meeting.
Oh, no.
No, that is
Let me
Lauren left.
Up the literacy footprints. Okay.
Okay, this is weird. Oh, that's right, because they can move themselves.
Did your Meet Link on the top, did the image change to like a different colored video camera?
Yes.
Okay. Goofy stuff is happening on my end. All right, so you go to the book library, right?
Yeah.
Here, if I share mine, will that be okay, Joy, if I share mine and then I'll do it?
Yeah, sure.
Just so you practice it? Okay. Here, I'm going to close this up. Okay. I'm going to go to the literacy footprints. Okay. I know she showed this, but I have to do it. Okay. So it's not my dashboard, right? It's actually my book library.
No, what you need to click on is your, let me make this bigger so I can see it. Sorry, my old lady eyes.
Oh no, I'm the same.
You're going to click on the thing that looks like, that says groups.
Ah, student groups. Okay. Ah, there it is. Okay, so we started my red group. Okay. But we only added one friend to it. So should I go, how do I add to it?
You go to students, the icon that looks like a bunch of people on the left.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
there.
Okay. This will get faster with me once I.
No worries.
You know,
All
Jennifer,
right.
I'm getting a kick out of watching you help and
Lead the
assist
literacy?
with a literacy activity.
Yes.
See, I embrace it all.
All right.
Love
So is
it.
it the key? I think I put the pencil, right? The pencil gets them in it.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's where if you go up a little bit, you can type in
Oh,
in
I
group
can
what the
actually
name of
put
the
in.
group is.
Okay. He'll be with this group. I'll do them all the same. And she even said like pick a couple of like lower levels, right?
Right.
Where does she choose the
Can
level?
you go up again?
Yeah, where does she put the
Again,
level of the
Up
kid?
where it says reading level, you need to click on that down arrow to pull.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. So he was one of the tricky ones. He's actually probably, I'm going to put him here, but I think he'll be fine. Oh, it didn't let me go for those books. Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
what
anything,
actually started it? Okay.
anything that is that level and above, it won't let the person get.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Okay. And then save. Now, Okay, here's my question. I can play around with this. Let me stop for a second. I'm going to come back here. Here's my question. How do they get to it? It's not on Clever. I know she said literacy footprints. Is that something that I wish it were all through
They
Clever?
go through Google.
It's, yeah, that Google login page,
They have to
right?
do Google login.
Did she send that to us? She didn't put it in the chat yet, did she?
No,
I just bookmarked it.
I think it's also in the letter. Isn't it in the letter how they get into it? Like,
Let me go back
you click
there.
on the link that the students get, it'll take
So
you
here-
through it.
Do you know if we like, you know how Steph, you put in all the links or whatever in
Yeah.
our Google Classroom? If we link that page where it says Google login, couldn't the kids just click that and then do it? Do you think?
We could probably put it in right under the topics. Like we have the login to Clever, login to Universal Screener. We could just do, just so it's visible in Google Classroom. Because once they're logged in, or does it have to be separate? Like I was so relieved that Imagine Learning was through Clever. I'm like, okay, they know
Yeah.
ST Math. Okay, they know Wixie.
So I was just wondering if there's if we could like put the link, they wouldn't have to worry about going in and trying to.
Let me go in here. Can I? Here, I'm going to share again, and you guys direct me to where I'm supposed to go. I know Dana had the question. She said, let's see if I remember. She said you go to, oh, this is a different page. Should I go back home for the dashboard? Where did she get the parent letter?
No, it was on that page.
It's
It's the
the key.
key. Click on the key.
Oh, it was the key. That was the key. Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and do Ethan. So this must be, okay.
Right.
Yeah,
So if
that's
we
the
copy
steps.
that link right there and put it in Google Classroom, could they just go there?
I think they'll still have to log in.
I know they'll have to log in, but they won't have to
Yeah, you
type
can put that
that
link
in.
in Google Classroom.
So let me stop sharing for a second. So it says Google login. Is that the same as they would, like it'll say, you know, JV Stevens at fcpsschools.net and then their regular password?
Well,
I
I'll
think
show
so,
you what
yeah.
I'll show you what it looks like when I did it.
But you know, when I
I'm
logged in the second time, it just took me straight to the launch page that I was at last time I was there.
So that's when I put that in. That's what comes up.
That's good because I'm already logged in somewhere.
And then when I
So
clicked Google login, it just took me straight there.
I think that's because you're logged into Google already.
Right. So if the
So
kids
won't
are logged
they-
into Google already, because they're in Google Classroom, all they'll need to do is click Google login, right?
Yes.
Okay.
what we'll
That's
do is
pretty
we'll
easy.
pick one
Right.
student to try that out.
Yeah. I
Amelia
think the key for that is if they're using a computer that other people use, they'll just have to make sure it's selecting their right like email for fcpsschools.net and not like somebody else's, or you know what I mean? That I think that'll be the
Right.
one thing about that.
Okay.
This is great. Just so you know, I'm going to share with you a link that my daughter shared because this is from Miss Moyer at Woodson. She said, Mom, Miss Moyer just had us, she had them install this extension so that we could raise our hands. So they have to install it. Dang it. I was hoping it was just an easy fix.
Okay,
But
Amelia,
you can nod and raise your hand.